Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Operation IELTS. I'm extremely grateful for your time, and I hope that you're all very well, and I hope that your studies are going to plan. Now, it's happened to all of us. We've been sitting in an exam, reading through the passage, when all of a sudden we come across a word that we don't understand the meaning of. Now, what are we supposed to do in that situation? Well, first of all, we have to make an important decision. Is the meaning of the word that we don't understand vital to our comprehension of the passage? Do we have to know the meaning of the word in order to be able to answer a question? If not, then we should continue reading and not spend any more time worrying about the meaning of that word. Why? Because, as you're more than aware, in the IELTS exam, our time is extremely precious, and we have to be very careful about how we use it. And this is extremely important to remember. We do not need to know the meaning of every single word in a passage in order to be able to understand it. And if you try to do that, if you try to understand the meaning of every single word in a text, then that is a surefire way of limiting your band score and not fulfilling your potential. However, on some occasions, there are extremely important words that we're not sure of the meaning of, and we still need to work it out. So we have to learn some strategies to be able to deal with situations like that. And the strategy that I want to present to you today is connected with what's called morphology. And morphology means breaking the word down into smaller parts in order to work out its meaning. So in order to explore that strategy, I'd like to look at the following sentence. And the sentence says, the problem was all of our preconceptions about what it would be like to run a business were inaccurate. Now, one challenging word that I found in this sentence is preconception. So what I want to do is I want to take you through the process that I would use if I didn't know the meaning of this word in order to try to understand it. So the first thing that I would do is I would break the word down into smaller parts. At the beginning of the word preconception, we have the prefix pre. Now, a prefix is a group of letters that's added to the beginning of a word in order to change the meaning of it. And if you would like a list of common prefixes, then please visit the Operation IELTS Instagram page and you'll find one there. Now, the prefix pre, as used in other words like preview or presume, means before. So, now that I understand that the word has a prefix at the beginning, I understand that the word has some connection with the idea of something being done before a given time. Then, the next thing that I would do is I would look at the stem of the word, or the stem of the word is also sometimes called the root of the word. The root of the word is the part of the word that contains the meaning. And the root of this word, preconception, is concept. Have you heard that word before, concept? If you have, then you'll know that the word concept means idea. And it is also the root of the verb conceptualize, which means to create or to form an idea. So now that I've broken down the word into two parts, I can start to get a picture of what the word means. So we've worked out that preconception means before and idea. And I think that gives us enough information to work out the meaning of the word, because what we can do is we can read the sentence again and say, the problem was all of our before ideas about what it would be like to run a business were inaccurate. So we can get the picture now, right? Because the writer had some ideas before starting a business, and those ideas turned out to be inaccurate. So by breaking down the word into smaller parts, we can conceptualize, we can gain an understanding of what the word preconception means. Now, before we finish, it is worth mentioning one more thing. The word preconception ends with the suffix shun, as you can see there. And now a suffix is similar to a prefix, but it's found at the end of a word instead of at the beginning. Can you think of any other words that end in shun? Shun is a very common suffix in English, and it can be found in words like section or question or solution. Think of those words, section, question, and solution. Do those words have anything in common? Yes, they're all nouns. All of them are nouns. So usually, but not always, when a word ends with the suffix shun, you can presume it's a noun. Therefore, we call it a noun indicator. So when we break the word preconception down into its smaller parts, we can see it means before idea, and it's a noun. So morphology can be extremely useful, and if you find yourself stuck when trying to understand the meaning of an unknown word, break it down into smaller parts. And the more suffixes you learn, the more prefixes you learn, and the more stems or the more root words that you learn, the easier it will be for you to decipher the meaning of words which you don't know at first glance. So, thank you very much. I appreciate your time, and I would ask you, please do check out the Operation IELTS Instagram and Facebook pages, and I look forward to speaking to you virtually again in the future. Thank you for your time, and goodbye.